Morning. I call this meeting of the Michigan Public Service Commission to order on April 10th at 10:30 a.m. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Chairman Talbert.
Present.
Commissioner Sari.
Present.
Commissioner Scripps.
Present.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, first up we have approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move approval of today's agenda. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The agenda is approved. Next up, we have approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting of March 21st, 2019.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting on March 21st. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The meeting minutes are approved. Next up, item 3, we have approval of orders on the consent agenda. And today the commission is assisted by Leah Arndt and staff. Good morning.
Good morning. Today's consent agenda consists of 3 communication matters, 4 electric matters, and 2 gas matters that are listed on item 3 of today's agenda. The proposed orders for each of these matters have been thoroughly vetted by the Commission's technical and legal staff and are ready for your approval.
Madam Chair, I move approval of all orders listed on today's consent agenda. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The orders are approved.
Item 4A1 is case number U-20165, which involves an application filed by Consumers Energy Company requesting approval of its integrated resource plan pursuant to MCL 460.6T and other relief. Staff member Al Freeman is here to describe this order.
Good morning, Commissioners. The order before you extends the deadline for a Commission decision in case number U-20165, Consumers Energy's Integrated Resource Plan, also known as an IRP. An IRP is a plan developed by an electric utility which outlines its future resource strategy, how it will provide reliable, cost-effective electric service to its customers while addressing its risks and opportunities inherent in the electric utility business. In 2016, Public Act 341 was signed into law, which, among other things, required all investor-owned utilities to file IRPs with the Commission once every 5 years. Consumers Energy was the first utility to file its IRP under the new law, filing in June 2018. The order before you allows an additional 60 days for the Commission to rule on a proposed settlement agreement in this docket. Both Consumers Energy and Commission staff requested the extension. No objections to the extension were filed. Consumers Energy filed a proposed settlement agreement addressing all issues in this case on March 23rd. The parties agreeing to the settlement are the Association of Business Advocating Tariff Equity, the Attorney General's Office, Commission staff, Energy Michigan, the Independent Power Producers Coalition, the Michigan Chemistry Council, a Michigan Electric Transmission Company, LLC, the Michigan Environmental Council, the National Resource Defense Council, and the Sierra Club. Parties not objecting to the settlement are the Ecology Center, the Environmental Law and Policy Center, Michigan Energy Innovation Business Council, and the Institute for Energy Innovation, the Union of Concerned Scientists, Vote Solar, the Residential Customer Group, Great Lakes Renewable Energy Association, and Midland Co-Generation Venture. On April 8th, Cypress Creek and the Solar Energy Industries Association filed objections to this settlement. Under a contested settlement, all parties will be able to file testimony and briefs as to why the settlement agreement should or should not be approved. The Commission, in this order, also sets forth the following procedural deadlines. Testimony is due on April 19th, rebuttal on April 25th, an evidentiary hearing to be held on May 1st, briefs by May 8th, and reply briefs by May 15th.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I move approval of Order U-20165. Second.
And before we go to vote, I just want to acknowledge the tremendous effort on the part of a lot of individuals and organizations in this case. Over the past year, there's been, even before the filing of this case, a lot of discussion around the future energy supplies for Consumers Energy, and very voluminous record that the Commission has gone through in preparing for a decision. There was also the ongoing settlement discussions that led to the settlement that's before us today. So we look forward to the next steps in this process and bringing this to closure. And with that, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved. Thank you, Al.
Item 4A2 is case number U-20444, which involves an application filed by Consumers Energy Company requesting a partial waiver of the electric interconnection and net metering standards. The order before you denies the application in part, defers final determination on the remainder of the application, opens the matter for public comment, and dismisses the motions to intervene.
Madam Chair, I move approval of Order U-20444.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The order is approved. All right, next up, we have item 5 for public comments. Anyone seeking to address the commission should come forward. I do have a card. David Lewins, did you want to speak? Okay. And if you want to just indicate who you're representing, that would be great. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you. David Lewins, Power Home Solar, Troy, Michigan. We are the largest residential solar contractor, not only in the state of Michigan, but in all the states that we serve. We've had extensive communications and dealings on interconnections with a vast variety of utilities, and this most recent request from consumers for a 90-day up to 120-day moratorium on interconnections for rate classes 1 through 5. While we understand that some of the larger purpose projects, 10, 20, 30 megawatt size projects, require a great deal of research to determine its feasibility to integrate into consumers' network of substations. But when it comes to Category 1 residential, Category 2 small commercial of 150 kW or smaller, we do not believe that this is reasonable to require these two categories for a moratorium, because any electrical generation in Category 1 and Category 2 are absorbed by the local neighborhood. There is no impact on the grid, substations for Category 1 and 2. So our position is, as the board continues to carry through on a 12-month analysis with hearings, that you would take that into consideration.
Thank you. And I would encourage you maybe to grab do we have a copy of the press release, or we can get that to you in the order that we just issued under item 4A2, dealing with the waiver request, specifically related to the denial of the request for categories 1 and 2. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? All right, seeing no one. Our next commission meeting is April 18th at 1:30 p.m. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.